Yo, welcome to another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your man Trouble's in the building. I want to give a shout out to, was it Smirnoff? What I'm drinking
Yeah.
today. So, yeah, I'm drinking Smirnoff Moscow Mule. So for those that listen to, what episode was that? Episode 33 with Afro Mama. I had a Moscow Mule, which was Tito's vodka, ginger beer, Goslin's ginger beer, and then lime juice. But Smirnoff just combined all three into one, so I'm good. Well, not all three; they combined two. You just gotta add your ginger ale, but I added my ginger beer to it. This shit fire, for real. This shit fire, and I'm drinking in my copper cup. But yeah, for those that do drink responsibly. Have a plan, get an Uber, have a Lyft, and do the damn thing. Jones, he's actually working. We recording this on Independence Day, 4th of July. So he's actually working and still doing these goddamn papers and discussions. But for all my people that's in school, keep on doing the damn thing and do not stop. Because when you get to walk across the stage, it's very fulfilling. And you're going to want to do it again and again and again. I'm taking a break right now, but you're going to want to do it again. AC, he's somewhere in Albany. He actually pulled up on me yesterday. I don't know if should I call him. Hold on, let me call AC real quick. Let's see what he doing or whatnot. I'm like, for someone to be like, damn, I can't wait to leave Albany. He sure did come back. Like, damn, but he is living his best life. Let's see if he answer.
Yeah.
Two things. Hey, AC.
What's up?
Hey, I'm doing a podcast with Arnold right now. I was telling our people that, for somebody that said that they can't wait to leave Albany, you sure did come back. I told him you was in the area. You doing anything today?
We probably going to that festival, but that's about it.
Around what, like 5?
I don't know, probably like 6, because they on their way back now for the mall and stuff.
Oh, got it. Okay. I'm about to do a podcast with Arnold right now, and then I'm gonna hit your line after I finish.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
So yeah, that was quick. He wasn't giving me anything, but.
Was he driving to Florida?
Huh?
He just come through to go to Florida or something?
He just came down here. I don't know, but I got Arnold in the building.
What up?
This is actually Arnold's second podcast.
No, it's my first. Don't worry.
First official podcast.
Yeah. We ignore the actual first, but
We had a 2-part podcast actually. I called it After Hours.
yeah.
But that never see the light of day. But yeah, for people that do listen to the podcast, y'all know that Unpredictable Thoughts brand, we are, military, and we do like talking about military topics. And one of the reasons of me doing the podcast was, we always see that it's a lot of homeless veterans or people be like, well, once you out the military, well, basically the government doesn't take care of the military and once they out. And I'm like, well, I believe right now there's so many programs to prevent that. And it's a lot of knowledge out there. Not to, discredit the people that are going through that rough time, like, oh, y'all ain't get shitted on, but it is information out there. And the purpose of the podcast was to get that information out there as far as working the VA. Well, not working you can work in the VA, of course.
Yeah.
VA benefits, the do's and don'ts, schooling programs, and different things to that nature. So, Arnold, he's a prime candidate of
Homelessness.
of this episode. So we're gonna kind of dig in with him. So what's up, Arnold?
What up?
How you doing?
I'm good. Chilling.
So I got two questions.
Yeah.
First question, it came out. Article probably came out about at least 6 months ago, right?
Sure.
And we talked about this offline. It was saying, for highly critical, highly skilled MOSs
Oh,
or
we were
jobs,
talking about this. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
should they waive their PT standards?
Right. Okay.
I say yeah.
I.
Okay.
All right, so we got Harrington over here saying depending on the MOS, and I agree with that 100%. It depends on the MOS. Like, if I'm talking I'm infantry, obviously not.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
Highly skilled. So probably now we're probably talking about more
We're talking about
cybersecurity.
cyber, cyber. Kind of a little bit in the admin. It depends specifically in the admin. But somebody who's actually not gonna go overseas on deployment and everything like that, yeah. Waive that MOS. If I could do more good over here than I can over there, then let me perform for your business. That's kind of how I look at it.
But they said, because I was talking to AC and Jones about it, we had kind of had a debate about it, and they were like, well, all MOSs deploy over there. In a sense.
Yeah, but when are you gonna put cyber over there?
Exactly what I was gonna say. Cyber doesn't need to deploy.
Yeah.
They can do everything from here.
True. That is true. And then it comes down to so AC and Jones, their perspective was they said, well, what if that individual gets fat? And I'm like, I'm not saying waive the body weight and height standards.
Right.
Don't waive that.
Yeah, don't waive that.
But goddamn PFT and the CFT or whatever branch of service that does it first,
Yeah.
their physical fitness test, that shit is very demanding. And do you think I want to goddamn be worried about how many push-ups or crunches or sit-ups
That
or
motherfucker does, yeah.
my damn runtime versus because cyber wars, they're constantly happening, right?
Right. So yeah, no, 100%. At that point, you kind of gotta look at it if that Marine's gonna perform here or over there, kind of situation. When I say over there, I'm talking about overseas and everything like that. If you're expecting me to do my top-notch performance while I'm here, you better expect me to put 110% effort into that, vice get my body physically fit for deployment, which I'm never going to go for.
Ain't gonna never carry the damn rifle.
Yeah, if I'm not going to
This is
carry
my
the rifle,
keyboard.
man, why you expecting me to do it? But that's cyber, man. You got different MOSs with different expectations.
I mean, as for expectations, but we as a organization, Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Army, their expectation physically is still all the same.
Nah, yeah. So you want a Marine to look good as fuck in the uniform for sure. No lie. If you see a Marine, you have an expectation of what they look like.
Correct.
If they don't look
Until
like
you
that, then
get
they
on
nasty.
base. Till you get on base and start
Until
seeing
you
the
get
real
on base.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, until you see that nasty one that they've been hiding this whole time. But yeah, the Fab Reservists. That's
Yeah.
what it is. But
Um,
but if they don't look like that, that's on them. That's why they get separated quick as hell. Appearance is everything when it comes to any professional job. For sure. If you're disgusting when somebody sees you, that's their professional appearance of that business.
yeah, but I want to get people to understand. I'm not saying waive body and weight
Right,
standards.
exactly, and I agree
you
with
still
you.
gotta
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
if they be like, hey, randomly on a goddamn Thursday at 15:45, you need to come and weigh in. You gotta come and weigh in. But as far as the aspect of I gotta run 3 miles in 18 minutes, but I'm up here fighting 6 cyber wars at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then it's much cheaper to kind of have your military do it versus a private contractor, right?
Yeah, of course. You paying military. Think of what you get paid right now.
Yeah. Shit.
Vice a contractor, man. Somebody who's getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this specific ability in which you probably could perform multiple times over. before they could. You may be more skill set in that situation. Like, why would I waste money on a contractor when I got 5 Marines to fulfill that job? Somebody
And you
who's
can
got
make
to
'em
perform
flexible.
100%
And you
of
get
the
on
time.
duty, you go police call,
Oh, exactly.
and you need to come back at 2200 tonight to finish the cyber
To
war.
finish the yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so like that's that special treatment kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Certain MOSs, I mean, honestly, really should they get special treatment? In my opinion, yeah.
Because I ain't in this shit. Like, yo, if their
Right.
school is like, say if a schoolhouse was like 2 years long, right? No,
Right.
we'll just say a year.
A year intelligence.
Automatically, what they got signed a contract for 5, right? Because they
They
it's
do.
like-
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a 5-year contract.
Yeah.
So of course, if they have little advantages, then it's like, okay, yeah, bitch, because your schoolhouse was a whole year.
Right.
You can still get kicked out. So the fact that you made it,
It's also because they gotta get a top secret clearance, though.
Yeah, that's true.
but it's a highly skilled job.
It
overall.
is, yeah. I mean, you got certain ASVAB scores in which you got to meet. You got certain EL scores that you got to meet. Like it's all depending on based off of your education
And
and,
there's certain,
and your
probably certain
smartness. Yeah.
certifications you have to get.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I
it's
don't doubt
like,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you got certifications going to cyber, like you good to go. So yeah,
Oh well, but that's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
So speaking as far as cyber, what do you think about this space force?
Bro, literally, I haven't read anything on that. I kind of just laughed when I read that the fact that Donald Trump was administering space, whatever he called it. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, a little bit. Sure, it's needed, I guess. I don't really know. I can't hate on him.
Jones was saying that's what we got NASA for.
Nah, man, NASA's been decommissioned for the past 4 years, something
for
like
real?
that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's why we got SpaceX.
Mm.
I mean, Elon Musk has been taking on NASA for the past 4 years.
Go back from the microphone a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
Can't tell me to go back, and there's a drawer right there.
Yeah. But yeah. But
So.
I mean, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, did he low key admit like there are aliens out there somewhere or what?
No, it's more or less like against other civilizations or like
Powered with weaponry.
yeah.
Essentially, you run the fucking planet.
I mean, we did
Damn.
the space race for how many years?
And we still lost.
No, we won. Don't worry.
What?
America #1. Don't worry.
Mm.
America #1. Don't worry. The space race was initiated with what? China and Russia at the
I
same
thought
time.
Russia
That's the two
won.
separate. Nah, hell nah, bruh. That's why you got fucking Armstrong walking on the moon.
They don't got money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once.
These fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
she told you, like, they charge fucking, what, $12 a bottle of water over there?
Yeah.
They're down in the fucking space, really?
Yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
that's
$12
crazy.
a bottle of water, I mean, if you're charging that much, yeah, you couldn't go.
I mean, so would you go Space Force? They get everything situated.
Would I go to Space Force?
Yeah.
It depends, I guess. It, it all depends, man. Like, if they're offering money, shit, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
As well as if I'm traveling to space, fuck yeah, I would go. Like,
Got police call the moon or some shit like
yes,
that.
police call the move. Fuck it, I'll do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, let's go.
Stand duty.
Yeah,
Like, what the
stand
fuck?
duty. Stand duty. Look out for the Martians, man.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I wouldn't. It's gonna be years, even if they entertain that. I wouldn't see why. I feel as though you admitting something that we don't know about.
I
in a
think he's
sense.
more or less
Was it just a
initiating.
power thing?
I don't think it's that. More or less something that we aren't 100% tracking on.
Yeah.
The fact that there are conflicts
Yeah.
as far as when it comes to space travel and shit like that.
Mm.
So you look at it like we had a space race for an extended period of time. So you look at like our civilization, Russia, shit like that. We're gonna sit here and try and develop first contact to any type of planet or anything like that. It may or more or less get conflicting out there. So that may or may not be the reason for it. Maybe he just wants some space insurance as far as like what happens on Earth.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It's all perspective at this point because we don't necessarily have the details.
Yeah.
So
Damn. Imagine like imagine going through MOS school and they're like, yeah, you about to get stationed on Mars.
I'd be
Like,
like,
yo.
this is my shit, bro.
It's gonna be like the Mars One program. There was it 2024.
Mm.
Sending, or is it 2020? They're sending the first trip people to Mars.
Stop.
And it's a one-way trip.
Yeah.
It's like it's all independently funded across the globe, and they surpassed their goal. And they did their testing. Was it 2-3 years ago? They had their candidates, and they're just prepping now for the flight to Mars.
Damn.
But it's a one-way trip.
Oh fuck.
And was it every 6 years they're gonna send
More and more people.
more and more people?
Oh, hey, send me on the 100th. Like once I know like McDonald's or like goddamn Subway's established out that bitch, send me out there. So yeah, I don't know. So Space Force, it's like I don't know what to say about it at this point. I'm like, yo, I'll become a recruiter or something. First Space Force recruiter.
There you go.
But let's see, man, because that goddamn, it's gonna be so much money. Because like, you work in the admin section, Arnold, so it's like, yo, that's separations. So what is it called? Like when
Literally separations.
from like if they can't station you with your spouse.
If they can't,
Yeah.
I mean restricted tours,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
You talking about like that?
Yeah, but it's a special incentive pay with that, right?
It just depends. I mean, yeah, FSA comes along with it. Family separation allowance.
Okay,
and
yeah,
stuff
family
like
separation
that.
allowance.
Yeah.
So like, imagine like being stationed in like Mars and your
Yeah.
family in Canada.
Okay.
Like, well, not Canada.
Yeah,
but,
you got a
Cali.
restricted tour to Mars. Like you're gonna be making a little bit more than $250 a month. Like, I hope at least. Like if not, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, that'd be crazy. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, man. Got Arnold in the building.
What up? What up?
Like I said, prime candidate. Arnold doing his 4 years and kind of just chucking the deuces for this whole gun show, Marine Corps show business.
No doubt.
Yeah, so how many more days you got?
I got 6 days, man. That countdown. That fucking countdown, bro.
How does it feel?
I got 6 days, bro. I'm ready to get the fuck out.
Uh-huh. Is it Marine Corps or just Albany? The location?
It's man, I can't hate on the city as much as I can hate on the Marine Corps, but at the same time, the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the organization employs people which you can have an issue with. Yeah, for sure. But anyways,
adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome
Marine.
a little bit. But
Yeah.
that adaptation is not always with everybody.
Yeah.
You can adapt to everybody,
Yeah.
for sure.
And do you not wind up being who you originally are or who you
Oh
genuinely
yeah,
are? at the
you
end
definitely
of the day?
change yourself for sure. Yeah.
So as far as these 6 days, what's reasoning for getting out?
My reason to get out. Well, first and foremost, I kind of being forced out. Medical condition, everything like that. And second, I would prefer to get out if I were to have the option to stay in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Would you mind explaining your medical condition?
Yeah, medical condition. I got a situation with my stomach in which it doesn't perform, and the situation in which it's supposed to. So I have to sit here and deal with my stomach being retarded 90% of the time. Like, there's not too much explanation to go into that other than my stomach is literally retarded.
Can you say retarded in the climate we live in now?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
I mean, retarded is kind of a common expression, is it not?
I don't know. You know, everybody gets sensitive on certain things
Uh,
nowadays.
yeah,
but-
I mean, retarded is kind of like a medical diagnosis, is it not?
So I ain't no damn doctor. I don't know. So did they diagnose it?
Yeah,
Technical term?
medically retarded down there. Like,
No, what is the exact? They ain't gonna-
no, I'm
What is-
fucking with you. Yeah, no, it's called IBS. So originally they thought it was gonna be Crohn's disease,
What is IBS?
irritable bowel syndrome.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking. Anyways, they thought it was gonna be Crohn's disease or something like that, something developing into that. Now they did several tests, and which were unpleasant all of the fucking time.
Oh, yeah, the probe up your ass.
Yeah, no shit,
Oh,
twice.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought of
But-
Cartman. That's why. South Park. the
Nah,
aliens
fucking
come
probe
down.
up my ass the whole fucking time. Fucking yeah. So all of them were not fun. I didn't enjoy it one bit. But they finally diagnosed me with IBS, in which I had to go to the doctor multiple times just to make sure I didn't have cancer and stuff like that.
Oh,
It was
shit.
kind of
Oh,
ridiculous.
stomach cancer.
A little bit. Colon cancer, stomach
Oh,
cancer. It was kind of
butt?
collective. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. They wanted to make sure I didn't have ass cancer, so
Yeah.
I'm clean, I think. But yeah. So once I ruled that out, I was determined 30% from the DoD.
Damn. VA medical.
Nah,
clinic.
DoD is 30%. I got 80% DoD because of some other conditions.
Oh,
So
oh shit.
yeah, 80% VA,
Mhm.
30% DoD. I can't hate on that. I kind of gotta appreciate the fact that they ruled me at that.
Yeah.
For sure. It's all perspective on that matter
Yeah.
at the same time. So
So for IBS, how did it affect you? I guess being in the military?
Professionally?
Yeah, professionally.
okay, so oh yeah, for sure. This is
Did you have like mud butt and shit like that?
yeah, man. Like you know, when you get the shits after you drink, like bruh, like you get that all the time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something that like just comes and goes every once in a while. Like it was every day.
Damn.
Yeah, you got the shits, bruh.
Like you losing weight out this bitch.
Yeah, but you would think. You would fucking think, but it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
I don't know why it doesn't work like that, but it just doesn't work like that. You have to deal with every type of food. Every type of food that you eat fucks up your stomach. So like, if you eat Mexican, you better expect the shits. If you eat,
That's
It's
common though.
if you,
Mexican,
yeah, Mexican, yeah, I got you. Okay,
old
Chinese, yeah, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
Italian, fucking pizza, bro.
What?
Pizza, dog. My favorite food literally would make me have the shits that fucking minute, like that I eat it. I shit you not. Like I swear to
Yeah,
God.
I know.
I shit you not, literally.
Mhm.
Nah, but yeah, you gotta expect the shits after you eat fucking Italian
Like
food,
instantly.
bro. Instantly. Especially pizza, bro. Like
Yeah.
for real. Like every other food really wouldn't fuck with me like that. Pizza fucks with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. It probably was the sauce.
Yeah.
Probably.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I know one time you went like on like a 7-day like
Smoothie diet?
smoothie
Yeah.
diet.
Yeah. That shit was hell on earth, bro. Try to imagine eating nothing but liquid. Like
But did it affect you the same way as far as eating solid
yeah,
food?
man, like which was kind of weird. Literally everything that I ate just made me shit even more. Like it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a good ass diet. Don't get me wrong. Like you lose weight off that diet instantly.
Uh-huh.
You can lose 15 pounds off that diet. Because your digestive system just literally eats itself. But yeah, it was ridiculous.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, how did IBS affect your like I guess like working out or like doing like marine things.
Marine things. So yeah, so when it comes to running and stuff like that, it kind of makes it worse. And the fact that like if you run or over a certain time your heart rate gets up or anything of the sorts, like your stomach starts cramping up insanely bad, like something to where is almost unbearable. Like you literally have to lay down and stretch in order for your stomach to not hurt. It's kind of ridiculous. It hurts like a motherfucker. But it's something that I have to deal with at this time, so
Yeah.
I gotta deal with that constantly.
Like so even now, so of course like when I guess they first diagnosed you, you was first dealing with it. Was this something beforehand?
Nah, man, I woke up.
Before the military.
I literally woke up October of fucking 2015. It was I remember the day. I woke up and I could not get out of bed. It was to a point to where my stomach was hurting so fucking bad to where I couldn't move. Like I literally thought I would have to go to the ER. And so I drove to work because Staff Sergeant Walker was here at that point. And I couldn't do shit, man. Like I threw up
But
twice.
shit.
All the butt shit, literally. I couldn't do shit but shit. I threw up twice while I was on my way to work.
Yeah.
And once I got here, it just I was immobile. Like I couldn't do anything.
Mm.
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic, but realistic at that time. Like I mean, like I understood that once that happened, I was like, fuck somehow. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, did you like ever like talk to your parents or anything like that to see?
Yeah, it did, just to
ran
see if
through the
there was
family?
like, yeah, just to see if there's any like genetic thing that I should be worried about, but yet they couldn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, not knowing my father and everything like that, I had that suspicion that maybe it could be something
On
with
his
my
side of the
father's
family.
side, yeah. But after talking to him, there was nothing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mm. So from October 2015 till 6 days of you getting
6
out,
days, man.
um, has things gotten better? Medicine, like
Yeah, I got
with
I
the
got
IBS?
prescribed a medicine. Yeah, it kind of it's an antidepressant. It's supposed to make your stomach feel better cuz your stomach apparently has its own nervous system.
Stomach has emotions.
Your stomach has emotions. It can feel sad or mad or upset or whatever. But
That's where hangry comes from, huh?
yeah, that's exactly what you say, hangry. But so with that, I got prescribed a medicine. Once I started taking it, my stomach was starting to get better a little bit. I mean, it's still volatile. It still does whatever the fuck it wants to do. Like if I go eat pizza tonight, like I'm gonna be like fucking hurting tomorrow.
Mm.
So you got it. They call it like a flood map or some shit. It's some shit that you gotta eat that makes you not hurt, and you gotta follow that plus the medicine. And that's supposed to make like your stomach feel better once you're at this stage.
Mm.
It's kind of ridiculous. It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Just gotta fuck with it. So
But so overall, you good now, huh?
kinda. I mean, maybe more or less. You give me pizza, fuck it, nah. Man, I'm hurting the next day. So
Does marijuana work? Like as far as
I don't know. Let's figure it out. Let's go. Fucking 6 fucking days, right?
yeah.
Marijuana. I'm down to try. Let's go.
Hey,
Fucking yeah, marijuana's a cure, bro. Like we've been smoking weed since. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, from my understanding, like Crohn's disease is always misdiagnosed, and you
Yeah.
know, irritable bowel syndrome. Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
IBS. Yeah,
IBS. It's like I feel it's just like a blanket. Like we
It
can't
is, yeah.
pinpoint it, but we just name it this because it falls in this realm type shit.
yeah. It's kind of a general diagnosis in which if they can't describe what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the point. Yeah, for sure.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel you.
So your next thing, you said that even if you didn't have anything going on with you medically, you'd still get the fuck out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cause I've dealt some bullshit since I've been here for sure. Um, I love everybody that I meet generally. There's some individuals that I do not care for.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps has introduced me to like a new perspective of thinking, so I
Okay.
respect that. But at the same time, there's some fucking retards, man.
Now, oh, you and this R word. Now, do you think
I'm
it?
sorry.
Yeah. Now, do you think they introduced you to this thinking just because you gotten older, or just because you're in the organization, or is
Nah,
it
man, I
because you
think
got
they're
older?
childish, bro. Like, I think that I've been
What?
introduced to, yeah, I think
Okay.
I've been introduced to this perspective because we have some individuals that are literally so childish as adults that you almost have to adapt to that thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right, so we back. I'm gonna give apology about that pause. You know, Arnold, he wanted to goddamn order pizza from Pizza Hut.
yeah,
But it is what it is. But we were talking about shit. What were we talking about? Him getting out, wanting to get out of the organization
Yeah.
because of use the R word,
yeah, because of retards.
and you continuously do it. Hey, when that community come to you, I'm like, look, I ain't know shit about it.
Hey, I love them all. Don't worry, I
Yeah.
love them all. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, you said you wouldn't stay in because of the people that's in it within the organization. Now, to counter
Yeah.
that, people would be like, well, you have uneducated people or just
Yeah, of
stupid
course.
people and any other
Or retards. Yeah.
workforce.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you have uneducated people leading the Marines and the Marine Corps, which is kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason of which one I'm getting out. If I'm smarter than the staff sergeant leading 6 more Marines than I am, then to me, that's a bad situation. Like,
Is it smarter or experience?
me, as far as me being smarter or experienced.
Oh, yeah, you just said, well, if you're smarter than somebody that's been in,
Okay,
they
alright,
probably been
yeah.
in about what? We'll say a minimum 11 to 12 years.
All right,
versus
yeah,
you
you can
versus
you
Ford and
compare
what?
experience to intelligence. You kind of depict on what you prefer at that point. Like me personally would prefer intelligence, like because you can get experience out of it, intelligence.
Mhm.
If I think that somebody is incapable of doing something, that's because they're not intelligent in that situation. Mm, experience is more or less just the fact that okay, if they've been in this situation in the past, they can continue doing it, but they can't adapt to it. Intelligence is where that adaptation comes in.
And knowing a different avenue. Like, okay,
A
yeah,
little bit,
you've
yeah.
been in a certain situation, but you don't always have to go that a particular route.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to
What are
follow
your
your
options?
experience. Yeah. You can kind of adapt to it, and that's where the intelligence comes into play.
Mm.
That's kind of how I feel a
So
little
the
bit.
people that send, that's your main reason why. Like,
I mean,
'cause they
I've
say
met
don't-
very intelligent people to where they can adapt to anything.
they said, don't let your first duty station be
Oh yeah, I mean,
what the Marine Corps, what any other branch of service is. So
yeah,
what do you say
that's
about that?
that's very true. But at the same time, like you should have a generic response to any first duty station. Like I mean, like if your job is not exactly what you want to do, then you should have an automatic not retaliation, but response to that. Like if that's not what you want to do, then don't do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you had the option to go. You can stay within the organization, but
Yeah.
go to another job. We call it lat moving. I don't know what
Lat
the
move,
other
yeah.
branches of service call it. I want to say Navy say crossover switch. I don't fucking know. I mean, I even say that.
I mean,
But
it's
yeah.
pretty close. It's a lateral move. Like I mean, you're moving laterally to a different MOS.
Yeah,
I mean,
within
it's
the
pretty
organization, yeah.
simplistic. Yeah.
Do you think your job in itself is the reason why you're getting out?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, my job is retarded. Like,
Can you stop
it's
using that?
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's silly. How about that?
What is your job?
My job is admin. I literally do administrative fields in which everyday Marine Corps life is dependent upon. If admin wasn't here, Marine Corps wouldn't be here. That's for sure. Because we are the engine to the steam engine. I mean, we're the ones that keep running consistently.
The support.
The support, I mean, like, it's not even support. Like, if you take admin away from the Marine Corps wouldn't exist. Like, why would you work for a job in which you aren't getting paid?
True.
Yeah, I mean, we're the ones that regulate your pay, promotions, everything that you
Awards.
do in your entire career is admin's responsibility at that point. So.
Now, do you think being at a smaller base, it's more intimate or whatnot, but the workload is like
The workload's a little bit increased.
yeah, it's increased. It's all on you at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Goddamn
you gotta
working
learn a little bit
weekends.
more. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I went to Buford to study how they are doing and kind of learn from them, but yet they learned from me, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because I work a little bit harder than they do, as much as I learned a little bit more than what they would do in their sections.
Yeah.
So I was joined to their separation section.
What is that?
As far as like EAS, retirement and stuff like
Getting
that.
out the military.
Getting out of the Marine Corps. They learned from me based on the fact that I wasn't just in the separation section. So they had to learn from the fact that I kind of knew other things, which was kind of interesting because they're sitting here telling me the one thing that they learned from the past 2 years. Why?
Probably back in MOS school type
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. And
Well,
I
that's
sat
all I
here and
said.
learned this and this and that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really have anything to back it up with, and you're like, yo,
Not necessarily
you
because
had
they didn't have
experience.
experience for it. Yeah. I mean, you come to a smaller duty station, everything like that. Of course, you got experience. For sure. I mean, Buford doesn't have shit on us at that point. Like,
So do you think, probably just you being there, do you think, because I would probably agree with your answer, hopefully.
of course.
Shout out to you. But do you think smaller duty stations produce,
Smarter Marines?
as far as job efficiency?
Job efficiency, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the Marine, though. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it depends
we'll say
on the job efficiency in that particular Marine. Like, I could place one of my Marines in which I don't trust, and then another Marine in which I do trust. And those two Marines can compete back and forth endlessly. But yeah, one's going to come on top. You know what I mean?
Some extra hours work and
Yes, exactly my point.
Dealing
Yes.
with those
Yes.
let's say customers. Customers.
Customers. Yeah, you can call them customers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're dealing with those customers
Yeah.
that may have those.
Can't use the R word.
Yeah,
They're not
please.
retards.
Yeah, stop. But dealing with customers, they may have like that crazy situation, like
Right.
That's just not normal type shit. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Like, if you were to compare me to somebody else in my section, anybody else in my section,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be able to perform at a level that in which I think I can perform at.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely don't think that. Yeah.
Now, do you think? Why not? Fuck the job. Now, if the Marine Corps offered you like a bonus or some shit, like a duty station incentive.
I would be a little bit more inclined to take it. Yeah, for sure.
Even if like, we'll waive your medical shit, like you can still say, yeah, we just
and
want.
they're gonna pay me the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you pay
yeah.
And we give you a duty incentive.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I got incentives other than what I'm getting paid right now, like, there's no doubt in my mind that I would consider it. Like for sure. They
Tier 1 Marines.
Hmm?
They do that for Tier 1 Marines.
they do that for tier 1 Marines for sure.
First term re-enlisters.
But that
Tier 1,
kind
you
of,
get
but
to choose your duty station.
but okay, yeah, that's that. But okay, yeah, you may do it for your first
You
term,
don't
but
get paid, but
shit, what about my second term? What about my third term? Like,
You kind of want like job security almost.
private monitor, man.
Yeah.
hmm.
Nah, I mean like I would consider it for sure. I mean, I can't sit here and argue the fact that okay, I'm gonna get paid the same amount that I'm getting paid right now,
Yeah.
and then doing the same shit I'm doing right now. I mean, if I get paid for the work that I do, then I'm gonna go like
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I don't, then at the same time, I got 6 days. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So no more Marine Corps for you, huh? Not
it
even
doesn't,
reserves.
it doesn't look like it. No, Nah.
I'm just saying, like, if medical wasn't on the table,
just in general. No.
yeah,
no.
You think,
I'm ready. I'm ready to pursue new opportunities.
and
And
before we get into that, do you think little duty station like this kind of like burnt you out?
nah, it's more or less.
Cause you're always dependent on at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you're dependent on small commands and stuff like that, being in a small duty station. But I think more or less like what deterred me from staying in is more or less people who are coming from other duty stations who can't adapt.
Oh,
Yeah. So the Marine Corps is subjective on the fact that it's that place and that time. So we were talking about this earlier with whether or not the Marine Corps or any branch of military should change their priorities or their standards based on MOS, right? But-
highly critical.
Right, but if you can't subject yourself to the current MOS or the current standards at a duty station, you're kind of lost at that point.
Yeah.
So you got staff NCOs coming here thinking that this is different in which they're expecting, which is 100% true, but they can't adjust to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
See, and my thing is, it's like, I think sometimes as a organization, what we fail at is that as soon as we get to a new place, we're immediately trying to change, like off the bat. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, just assess the situation, assess the scene. If the shit running like a damn oil machine, keep it
Right.
going. Like, yo, okay, what y'all got in place? Bam. I say, don't demand your ideas. Just put them out there. Like, yo, what y'all have got going on? If I put this idea, will it work?
That's like the payroll situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, if it doesn't work, cool. Shit, I'll throw it out the window. Bam. But if it does work, hey, let's do it. Then we can elevate from there. Or
Yeah.
shit, just keep it the same. Like, some things don't need to fucking change. Like, shit does not need to change every, like, goddamn 3 to 4 years just because new people are coming in. Mind you, depending on your MOS or your job, with technology, we do have certain ways of doing things. So you may have to, okay, yeah, they were doing SRBs. It was by book. I remember, like, every couple months I had to sign something to, like, yo, everything's still good.
Yeah.
But
SRBs,
now, yeah, so now it's on MOL, Marine Online. It's on
No,
computer.
you're right. Yeah.
You certifying everything. But
Yeah.
I don't know, but just, I guess, I'm going to say day-to-day operations. Like,
Kind of. I mean, it just.
if y'all good,
it
y'all
all
good.
depends, yeah.
Then if you got to adjust because you lost somebody,
Yeah.
then adjust. But
Well, you gonna be just hard when you leave.
if you got just because you gained somebody, do your
I
thing.
appreciate
But to
that.
kind of change a total operation that was working good, especially because I always base stuff off of inspections.
Yeah.
So like last inspection, we was doing good. Then 6 months later, I'm like, shit, I don't need to change anything. Y'all good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That is the fucking one of the truest things I've ever heard.
Like shit. I remember.
Pass fucking inspection.
Yeah. So my thing was when I was stationed in Italy, it was like we had inspection coming up. Mind you, inspections around my birthday in
Okay.
August,
Okay.
and they was like, we don't think you should go take leave around that time because inspections. But I'm like, for what? I'm like, they was like, well, you only be a week out before inspection. What if this was? What if that? And I'm like, well, I do my job every day like I was being inspected. So like,
Yeah,
what's the
why
issue?
wouldn't you suggest me taking leave?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I understand.
Like I
Yeah.
get where they coming from. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Yeah.
at that point, your mind thinking with saying that is you wait to the last minute to where I'm like, yo, no, I do this day to day and make sure my stuff is tight at the end of the month, the end of the week, at the end of the day. So when it comes to inspection, I'm like, all right, do your thing. Hey, you don't even gotta talk to me during
Yeah.
inspection time frame.
You already did your shit.
Yeah, I already did my shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, of course, you want to double check stuff and things of that nature. But like, you know, I say in the admin field, when you constantly working with like numbers and things of that nature, I may complete something at the end of that day, but I may recheck it that morning just because like that following that day that you was going through numbers, paperwork, and things of that nature. When you doing stuff at the end of the day, you kind of just be like, y'all just want to get the fuck out of there.
Yours was the same way.
Yeah. It's very tedious though.
Semi-annual fucking inspections.
Yeah.
When I was a postal clerk, I fucking hated it. When that fucking guy started, she used to show up out of nowhere, like, time for an inspection, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like
I gotta deal with this bitch, man.
the same. Like if you look at it, like you gotta adjust to other people's standards 100%. So as do we. You were talking about like doing your duty or your job and performing at that level, but yet people are gonna expect you on this standard. And I mean, we kind of understand that in the spec that like we could be doing our job year round, but yet when it comes to that time of the inspection, they can come up with new standards and everything of the sort. So.
Oh yeah, I'm like shit. Well, hey, if you don't tell me at least a month in advance, man, I don't know
Yeah,
what to tell
then
you,
how
boss,
are
man.
you gonna improve?
You
Yeah.
can't like no. That shit should be waiverable in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like if
and
you come
I
out
agree
with
with
a
you,
new
yeah.
order or something like that, like oh, it's still in the works.
Yeah.
Point blank, next.
Yeah, next. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Next thing I wanted to get on, which every, the Marine Corps, or I just say the military, is famous for saying for people that get out, and I want to do a little rant about this, and which I really hate, is that when people say they getting out, they always say, "What's your plan?"
Yeah. Okay.
And then they say, I feel as though once you say you getting out, the military, like I ain't gonna say all branches of service do this, or like all people do this, but I feel as though like certain commands, once you be like, yo, I'm getting out, they kind of stop fucking with you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Depending on who you are as an individual. But
Yeah.
my question to you is, standard question, what is your plan?
What is my plan
And
as far as getting out?
Are you gonna do the basic military starter pack of getting out? You gonna go to school,
man,
get out, go to school?
Nah, okay, so there's like typical standard in which people expect you to perform at. Like I don't think that I would perform at that level. I'm automatically trying to go to school. My job or my goal right now is to go to Armstrong State University, which is now Georgia Southern, and I'm gonna go to school for cybersecurity. I don't think that I'm gonna fall in that typical military standard in which we say that we're gonna do something and don't actually fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with me, I had that drive to actually go to school, as well as go to a part-time job in which I think I'm gonna make this certain amount of money and be successful regardless of my situation. People I've talked to in the past sit there and say they're gonna go to school and do this and that, and I mean, 2-3 years later, they're still not doing it. So I kind of want to prove that standard wrong.
Yeah. So my question to you is, you say you're gonna go to school, right? So why didn't you go to school while being in?
Yeah, that's more or less like availability. Like I don't think that I could have performed well in school
Mm,
while being in the Marine Corps.
mm.
My job took priority over everything that I did.
Mission over troop welfare.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Mission over troop welfare. Yeah, for sure. Uh, I mean, it's still like that. Troop welfare is a priority for me at this point. Like, I don't think that my mission is a priority. I think my troop welfare is taking priority over everything else. Like, you look at my Marines and everything like that. Like, I got a Marine yesterday, in which I have to sit here and make sure that she's ready. Then I have to make sure that I'm ready.
Yeah.
And people are expecting that of me, and I don't think that's right.
Mm,
I get out in 6 days. So,
so you think it needs to be this kind of someone else, like, cause I get what you're saying, because it's like when the Marine Corps, well, not that they wanted to, they started doing mentorship,
yeah.
like in boot camp.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you kind of adapt to that. Like, I mean, like, you got to automatically be that mentor towards anybody who comes here.
Yeah, but it's like okay. With that being said, the only reason I said they kind of they kind of coexist is because it's like, what if, okay, you have 6 days,
I
right?
have 6 days, yeah.
And I'm not sure the time frame to where they do a mentorship in boot camp. It's like one of the last 2 weeks of boot camp now, right? For these recruits, I'm like, yo, what if I really started fucking with you? Like, I had a question, and I'm like, yo, my drill instructor, sergeant, or staff sergeant, so and so, like, I really like this advice or her advice, and I wanted to reach out to him. Like, it's not the same, you know what I'm saying? And then
As far as a mentee kind of thing?
yeah, so it's like, okay, with you leaving in 6 days, yeah, you could
How you
kind
gonna,
of,
yeah, yeah. How
could,
you gonna adapt to that, or more or
yeah,
less accept that as,
because it's not a day to day. Like, mental shit
yeah,
is almost like a day to day, every other day, or we
yeah.
could do weekly. Like, for for it to really, for mental shit to really set in, like, you have to be a presence. Like, your command presence is has to be fucking crazy. I feel as though, as far as developing, because at this point you're developing somebody.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that, like, you kind of get to understand how much time you got left, right?
Well, that's you, yeah. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
even
mean,
touch them though. That's the thing. For your shop to, or your section to be like, all right, yeah, you still gotta take care of these people. It's like, bruh, like, you could kind of drop a little jewels here and there, but it won't. It's not gonna stick for someone that's there every day. You know what I'm saying? That's still got
I
two
think
years
it's
left.
delivery. Like, as far as like how you deliver that expectation of that person. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying. Like, as far as like how I can sit here and influence that person with only a few amount of days left and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, uh, you could sit here and share your experience, like, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So with this new Marine that I got, she came in here 2 days ago,
Yeah,
a day
whatever.
ago, something like that. And I automatically have expectations of her in which other people wouldn't expect from her. Regardless of whether the fact that I'm gonna be in a different location or a different city or anything of the sorts, like, I expect her to perform as a Marine. Just based on the fact that I have expectation of the Marine Corps. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to perform at this level and perform at her best, so that I can sit here and be like, okay, like, I may have had an impact on this Marine.
Yeah.
To where she can sit here and be like, okay, reflecting on the situation, she can sit here and say, okay, this Marine influenced me to perform at such a level, in which isn't gonna perform, isn't gonna affect me to where I can sit here and say that I have an excuse for being a shitbag. Like,
It's not really the excuse. It's like, yo, if you could see me, well, I'll say it. I don't know, because I was gonna say personally, me seeing my mentor at least every other day or week, like that face-to-face interaction,
Yeah.
it holds major impact versus like, yeah, people in my past have like dropped jewels and been in and out, but to like, I would love to actually like talk to them on like an everyday basis or just reach out. Yeah, you can fucking call them, text them, FaceTime and whatever. Technology has made it that way. But it's like, yo, certain situations you're not thinking about that individual. So it's like, yeah. Is that Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
All right, so we back now. Another interruption. This is two interruptions in the Unpredictable Thoughts podcast, but listening to this podcast is an unpredictable moment. So on, we just finally got his stuffed crust pizza.
What's
So-
up?
So we back in the building. We talk about mentorship and all that other stuff, but really, like, okay. So what is your exact plan? Like, so you going to just get out and go to school and work?
Yeah.
That's the that's what a lot of people say. So like, can you like describe the field that you want to go into as far as school
Yeah.
and work?
Yeah. So I'm getting out. I'm going to cybersecurity. Some nerd shit. I plan on making money through VA. Whether it's my actual VA pay, and then housing allowance through my GI Bill, and then along with that, work part time. Now with that, I plan on going to school full time and pursuing a degree in information technology
Yeah.
with minor in cybersecurity. And then I plan on going into being a CISO, which is a Chief Information Security Officer.
Ooh.
Once I go into the civilian sector.
Oh. They make a lot of money. I may say, right? Yeah. No?
$300K a year.
Ooh.
Can I fight it? Yeah.
So you moving to Savannah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Savannah life.
Yeah. So
Where you originally from first?
I'm from Indiana. Not even close to here. But I looked at schools around me and everything like that. Savannah, I looked into there because it's my favorite city so far. I've been to plenty of cities, and Savannah just like grabbed my heart real quick. And some of the schools that are around here in Georgia and Savannah specifically, they offer some good ass degrees or good ass programs for cybersecurity. So, I mean, you automatically NSA certified through Armstrong State or Georgia Southern. So,
Yeah.
you can't fight it.
Oh, you can't fight that at all, baby.
Yeah.
Now, you know, for our listeners, some people would be like, well, you know, you getting out to do cybersecurity. Why don't you just stay in the Marine Corps to, well, lat move and do cybersecurity? Well, other than your medical condition, of course.
So it kind of comes down to the fact that, like, even if I didn't have the medical condition, like, it comes down to the fact that, like, money. Like, yeah, we get paid on the 1st and 15th, but, like, is it really money? Like, for the amount of work that you do on a daily basis, is the work that you do worth the money that you make? Like, so,
But people argue the benefits behind it. Military discounts for certain things.
regardless.
Free health care, Medicare,
Right, so, okay, so, all right.
base
kinda-
privileges, you know?
Yeah, kind of how I look at it is like, why am I sitting here stressing myself out on a 96 or 72 in 10 days before I'm getting out about something within my job and still get paid the same amount of money that somebody else is, and they're not stressing about it. They're doing whatever they want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, like, if I don't put in the effort and everything like that, like, I'm still gonna get paid what I get paid. I can put 100% effort in and sit here and work my ass off on a day-to-day basis, and to where the same person next to me may or may not do the same thing, but yet we'll still get the same pay as me.
So it's like more of a work ethic for you type of
A little bit,
situation.
yeah. Yeah, like I want to be valued at the work that I put in.
Marine Corps don't value you. Them awards.
The rewards, yeah. It's universal. Like I can be a shitbag and still get paid the same amount of money I get paid right now.
Mm.
I can worry about myself 100%. Get promoted as sergeant, still make the same money I'm making right now.
Yeah.
Uh, but the minute I worry about Marines and put them in front of me, then I'm shitting on myself and barely getting paid. And that perspective.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Mm. Well, shit. Yeah, we really hit my threshold. Now, my last question to you is, you know, the Commandant in the Marine Corps a couple months ago came out with an article about like disruptive thinkers, right? Basically, how could we change the Marine Corps? You know, for those that don't know, for my listeners, like yo, I may be off by this. I'm gonna say the Marine Corps has the highest turnover rate
Yeah, no, you're right.
of any branch of service.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the highest turnover of any branch of service. So of course, the powers that be, they're thinking like, well, how can we keep people in?
Right, the disruptive thinker thing is more or less like the fact that you go against the institution at that point.
Mm.
So what I mean by that is like we have a standard thought in which we have to perform at this level to stay in. For re-enlistments, you have your own expectations in which you gotta do in order to re-enlist.
Yeah.
Now, disruptive thinkers are more or less the people who are like, okay, let's perform at this level, but change this standard. In my opinion,
That can
that's what
lower
it is.
or higher standards, correct?
Yeah, higher or lower standards. Yeah, for sure. So, like, if we think that our infantry is performing at a lower standard in which we assume it to be, then we raise that standard. Now, vice versa. So, like, if we expect our cybersecurity department to perform at this level in which they're failing and we're losing people left and right, people who may be a beneficial factor towards that MOS, then we may lower our standard based on the fact that we keep them in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it.
Disruptive thinkers is more or less just thinking outside the box.
Correct. And not one whole big group thinking like,
Group
this
thinking is kind of
it's dangerous.
Right. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking as far as like job specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
So-
admin is very universal, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like in my opinion, you gotta sit here and think at the level in which they perform at. If they're gonna be deployable, then yeah, deploy them,
Yeah.
and they need to perform at this level.
Correct.
If you're not gonna deploy them, then fuck it. Well, why do they need to perform at this level if they're not gonna be deployable?
Ooh. Is it like a? Do you think it's like a security reason because they can be deployable one day?
They can be all admin, and I mean job specific admin can be deployable, but
Yeah. But, you know, like certain individuals, like, all right, yeah, you ain't about to deploy. Yeah. But
Right.
deployment, what we call deployment nowadays is different from what a deployment was. I've been in for 9 years, so 6 years ago.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
So like, most people on motherfucking cruises at that point, they're just on big working parties for 6 months.
Yeah,
and living their best life.
Yeah, I mean, like, you look at like IA billets and everything like that, individual augmentation billets. If I'm trying to go on an IA billet, I have to meet these certain standards and everything like that, which is expected.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not, like, why am I still held to the same standard that person that is trying to go on an IA billet is? You know what I mean? So like, you put me against him.
Yeah.
And we're in a garrison unit, and which doesn't mean anything to deployment at that point.
Yeah, it almost one of those situations, and I really hated this. Like, I wound up deploying too, but like, they wound up promoting people just off of deployments.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a combat deployment, you're promotable. But it's like, bitch, like that doesn't make
Like, how's that justify you as a good leader?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, you was in a different environment, but if you was like on like the what do you call it? The main, we'll call it the main camp, like where like the generals and like everybody be at. Then it's like, yo, all you was really doing is the same job in another country.
Yeah.
It's almost like being at another duty station, but you just here for 6 months with
Yeah.
more pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my question to you is, okay, with they're coming out with this whole disruptive thinkers piece, which I don't know, probably really won't go anywhere, just because all the politics behind it and who actually hears this shit. Um, what would be one thing you would change about the Marine Corps as a whole? You could do it, yeah.
Yeah, I would change promotion standards. I would do like an actual intelligence test.
Ooh.
So I'm not gonna promote somebody who's fucking retarded. I'm sorry, fucking silly.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say retarded. Somebody who's silly, like they are literally incapable of thinking a certain way.
Mm,
I'm not gonna promote somebody who's like that in my personal business.
yeah.
I would definitely hold them to a higher intellectual standard. If they cannot perform at that level, they don't get promoted.
Now, wouldn't it? Some people be like, well, you have your was it pros and cons? So your proficiency.
Right, but that's based off of staff and field standards.
Uh,
But they're interfered with.
mm,
How can a sergeant major who never sees me perform, never, judge me based on my performance?
he's taking the word of his staff and CO, right?
His staff and seal promoted a 4748 pro-com marks. And he gives me a 4546. How's that justified? Tell me that.
Mm. So,
Exactly, it's not logical. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Like in realistic Marine Corps standards, you trust your staff NCOs to promote at that level.
Yeah.
But as soon as you deny that, like you gotta sit here and have backing to it. Like the sergeant major didn't have backing to it when he bumped my pro cons down from 4748 to 4645.
Oh, so this personal.
A little bit.
Staff and sea level is the same way.
Same way, yeah. You could have
It's all officer fucking input.
yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless.
You can now work for your officer, yeah.
Like, me and you, two different MOSs. Lieutenant B being the adjutant, she is a post officer. Our numbers are considered together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, we're both O1s. We're considered in the admin field, but two different fucking MOSs.
Yeah.
Completely fucking two different MOSs. It's I don't know.
And she still has to grade, like, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, based off of that MOS, yeah.
like LSD or ops. You have fucking somebody like fucking. All right, now that Brooks is in fucking LSD.
Yeah.
Let's just say he was a fucking sergeant. You got somebody that's doing fucking a 3531, a fucking or is it 3502, a fucking motor T officer doing a fucking 0111's fucking fit rep.
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah,
look
it's
on the
kind of
board?
difficult, yeah.
How does that look when it comes to promotion board?
Yeah.
We can see the fucking marks, but
How are we gonna promote at that level, yeah.
this motherfucker's not. He's not in his fucking MOS. He doesn't fucking see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and personally, I would change that about how, as officers as a whole, how
We're the only branch that does this fucking board like that.
overall.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Maybe they do fucking tests.
Yeah.
They do a proficiency and knowledge test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking stand in front of a board and they fucking ask you fucking questions.
Now
That's
with
so
the
smart.
now with the Navy from E1 to E4, I may be wrong. They do evals or whatnot.
Same thing.
Yeah. So evals are like the Marine Corps' E5 fit reps. I believe it holds you to a higher standard because you got to be like, yo, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. But my only thing with the Marine Corps, as I get older, I'm like, yo, look, from E1 to E4, really, technically, all you really have to worry about is rifle range, it's PFT and CFT, swim call, and that's it, right? Pros and cons, yes,
yeah.
but basically those pros and cons matter depending on how well you do on your PFT, how well you do on your CFT.
Kinda. I mean, it all depends on based off of everything. Like, if you got a good staff and COs and stuff
But
like
it's more
that,
physical at the end of the day.
at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, more of the points go towards physical, like, performance and everything. Yeah,
But
for sure.
my whole thing with that is like, so you get promoted from E1 to E4 just based off of physicality, right? Once you hit E5,
Yeah.
you're kind of based on your knowledge, but you have to goddamn train, and you at this mentor developmental stage to where you gotta,
Once you hit that fit rep stage, pretty much,
you gotta train these younger Marines. But it's like,
it's all dependent upon us, your officer at that point.
well, yeah,
Whoever's sitting there looking at your fit reps and setting it up, it's all dependent upon them. You could have a shit officer at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
And then I don't like the whole officer thing, because it's like, okay, with them writing fitness reports, evaluation reports,
Yeah, what if it's an officer you don't fucking see every day?
yeah, if
it's
it's an
all-
officer you don't see every
you don't
day,
see
I
every
think
day,
that's wrong.
if
Yeah.
he or she is brand new,
Yeah.
and then like it's a fucking, the one thing that irritated me the most is they don't want to mess up their average. Like, you could be the most hot shit person, right?
Right.
And oh, I can't grade you too high because I don't want to mess up my average. And then with the whole average thing, it goes from, okay, so I've been in for 9 years. What if they graded somebody back in 2009 when they deployed, right?
Right.
So, deployments, everybody was getting high shit. Especially if you deployed, everybody's shit was high.
Right.
So, of course, they don't want to grade you higher than how it was on a deployment.
Right.
So they just gonna like, you're a little lower than them.
Yeah, nah,
He could be
and that's wrong as
walking on
fuck, man.
water.
Like, if you're not gonna grade on the level in which they are performing, and you're gonna grade based off past experiences and everything like that, then I don't think that's right. Like,
The whole average and numbers thing,
yeah,
it should be completely out. I don't have a backup to what they can go off of.
yeah.
Maybe look into other branches of service on how they promote they promotion systems, but this whole average and things of that nature, I personally hate it.
Yeah, I don't agree with the Marine Corps promotion system in the slightest. I don't. I mean, we're promoting shitty Marines, in my opinion. In which I can perform at a better level than a staff and CO who's been in them for like 5 years. Like, why would he even be promoted in the first place? Is my
Time.
opinion.
That's a time and location.
Right. Time.
I mean,
and
just like
location.
Albany, personally.
But yeah, we promoted a shitty staff and CO at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel as though in Albany, I mean, it's a numbers thing. Don't get me wrong. I understand it, the backing behind it. Just with certain smaller duty stations, like I say for here, I think they should take away meritorious promotions.
You think?
Yeah,
Really?
because of the experience.
You can perform at that level, but I think they should be a little bit strict on it.
Okay, I give you the strict part.
Yeah, I would definitely give a meritorious promotion to somebody who actually deserves it. But if you're gonna meritoriously promote your best Marine and the best Marine is shit, then fuck nah, bruh.
But at the end of the day, it's a numbers thing, bruh.
I don't care
It's-
about numbers
it's
at
a
that
number.
point.
So it's
Like,
like,
no, I
okay.
care about quality.
Yo, so let's look at it, right? So when we talk about a colonel X on the CO, right?
Yeah,
They get somebody meritorious promoted from a base.
yeah.
That shit goes on they fitness reports.
But fuck them.
It does.
I'm
And
just
then
kidding. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, I got X amount of people. We beat out Mickey East.
Yeah,
We were
that's-
the
that's
base
retarded.
for this
That's
quarter of meritorious promotion.
You're just trying to pad your numbers at that point with shitty ass Marines, and that's what makes the Marine Corps shitty. And I think, in my opinion, that is wrong. I would rather promote a Marine who I think is highly qualified to fulfill that rank, than some Marine who is performing at a mediocre level in which is performing above everybody else.
But do you think that's subjective? As
No,
far as performance?
I think that's
Because you-
based off of the IRAM, like I mean, promotion standards in general.
Huh?
I mean, yeah, he's got examples. Fuck it.
Don't say names. Y'all drop so many names on this
What
one.
job names right now?
Alright,
Yeah, I know here. The last one.
Lance Corporal so and so.
Yeah.
His MOS is all right. We'll break it down simple. His
Come
MOS,
closer to the mic.
His MOS is breaking rocks.
Uh-huh.
He comes to Albany. Fucking, he hardly breaks rocks here in Albany. Maybe once in a while, once every couple years. He's good. He's better than most at his PFT and CFT and rifle range. Not the highest, but better than most. But because he has officer backing of him, very high 06, 04. That should dime out who it is.
Yeah.
He has that 06, 04 backing. The 06, the colonel of the base is in 06. Colonel. I mean, they're pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
05.
05, yeah.
He's about to be in 06.
Yeah,
So,
same thing.
Uh-huh.
now. Dude hasn't been here more than 2 years.
Yeah.
Meritoriously promoted. Hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Anything outside of his fucking MOS.
And it's because the other Marine who was supposed to get meritoriously promoted got promoted regularly.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That happens every month, almost every quarter here in Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's wrong.
One Marine has the backing to get him promoted.
Or her.
Or
Him or her, whatever, it don't matter.
Yeah.
And the other one doesn't.
yeah, nah.
They could have the higher PFT, CFT, the
You
education
get that
behind
influence.
them,
Yeah, you're right.
way better in their job, and they do more daily work than what the other individual does. But you got the ones that don't do shit, fucking sit on their ass all day, get tasked out to do fucking that B shit like funerals, working parties. They get meritoriously promoted because your job is completely irrelevant at this base.
Yeah. I think that.
You have that higher rank behind you, you're gonna get promoted.
I think we need to. Also, I think we probably need to do better math for Marines, because it's like each base has a TO.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yo,
Yeah.
I think whoever's in charge of the whole everything is like, yo, does your base do this? Like, cause like in '95 y'all was doing this, but in 2018, I don't think y'all still doing this. Does your base do this? Yes or no? No. Okay, we're gonna stop sending those Marines there for that certain MOS because it's non-existent. And okay, can we add numbers maybe in the admin section, maybe in the LSD section, maybe in the postal section, maybe, you know, a log com, whatever they do, supply, instead of just keep on sending, because we're famous for sending Motor T Marines down here and they don't even goddamn do their job. Like, where's the benefit of that for them, you know? In the Marine Corps, I feel as though they're wasting money, wasting taxpayer dollars at that point, time.
So more or less like better monitors when it comes down to it. Like people who understand that, okay, the responsibility of Albany, Georgia, and what it takes to fulfill that responsibility.
Albany, Barstow,
yeah,
Pendleton, goddamn Paris,
base,
just all branch.
Marine Corps wide.
Yeah, Marine Corps wide.
Yeah.
Okay, here's all my duty stations. Bam. What
do I need to fulfill
MOSs
there?
can fulfill there, and what MOSs don't, and that's it.
More like a constant update of what they
and
need.
you know,
so they kind of try and implement that a little bit, kind of like on an admin perspective. They ask us what we need and stuff like that. We kind of shoot them the same numbers in which we've been receiving for that period of time.
So it's y'all reason why we fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I'll take that hit. Technically, it's my civilian director, but at the same time, fuck it. But no, it's 100% that we are expecting a certain amount. It's kind of like our finances. Like, if we don't spend this amount of money, then we won't receive this amount of money next quarter.
Yeah.
So if we don't request this amount of Marines, we won't receive this amount of Marines next quarter.
But why don't we can't just push it to it? Okay, like, look, we're expecting.
It doesn't go over fiscal years like that. Like, we can't sit here and say, okay, we expect this many Marines to drop out.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
It's even changed.
Oh shit.
It's kind of silly.
And they just redid Albany CO.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Did we drop or increase?
We actually dropped. So we actually dropped admin Marines too. There was supposed to be an additional spot in his shop, a spot in my shop. But we don't have space for him, so we're like, fuck it, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
You gotta break the seal.
No, my son's calling.
No. Oh, do you think?
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the perspective in which we look at it. Like, it's not more or less like the Marine Corps' fault. It's more or less your small unit leadership's fault
Oh.
on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I will also say we're kind of slow and for change.
We're slow in every perspective on anything.
And so that kind of, I feel as though that kind of discourages people.
We're more or less adapt to civilians than we are anything on this base.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. I don't know. This is, but as far as disruptive thinking, I didn't want anybody from the DOD, the Congress, anybody in the commandant camp to be like, oh, we talking bad on it. It's a change. Like,
yeah, it's
you gotta expect
disruptive thinking.
Yeah, it's
That's all it
disruptive
is.
thinking. You gotta criticism.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not to say that we have the answers for it. I think me and you kind of think alike to where it's like we may have a solution, but we're also wanting to know their process behind it, and we're not saying like, oh, our solution is the best solution.
Right.
I have a solution for something, but also if you could tell me the behind the scenes process of what goes on, I'm willing to change
your solution.
Yeah, change my solution.
Yeah.
If it can't be what it is, then it can't be what it is.
Yeah,
Then
no, I agree.
Other than that, I just take the solution.
I agree
and,
with you 100%. Yeah.
But if you're not willing to, well, as an organization, if they're not willing to be like, all right, let's take in consideration, at least just have a sit down talk.
Yeah, a sit down talk is all it takes, man.
I don't mind talking to the Sergeant Major Marine Corps.
I wouldn't mind talking to anybody.
Goddamn commandant, like a little tipsy.
I would love to talk to him about that shit. Like,
or
for
probably
sure.
not even him. Probably like somebody just in his circle. Because
in his circle, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're all figureheads anyway. So.
Yeah, you know how that shit go.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah.
But yeah, just talking to somebody in that camp, be like, yo, why y'all do certain things like this?
Yeah.
And,
why do you make that decision?
Yeah, and it probably helped me be enlightened about certain things.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah, so.
For sure. And I wish our base, as far as like a small unit, would do the same thing. Because at that point, you increase unit morale.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first step. That's the key to success for any unit at that point, is just understanding your Marines. But if you're not even taking the chance to understand them, like, you failing.
I mean,
So.
Shit, that's I think the Air Force does that, from my understanding. I may be wrong, but I know, from my understanding, the Air Force, they do troop welfare, their mission accomplishment. You can't accomplish a mission without troop welfare.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100% realistic. Like, if I'm shit talking the unit the whole fucking time, and I'm salty as fuck, like, I'm not gonna perform at the best level I can.
Yeah.
Like, hell nah.
Yeah. Cause it almost reminded me of when I was we talked with Richard, aka Bailey, or whatnot. He's about to get out soon.
Yeah, Rich B.
Yeah, Rich B in the house. Shout out to him. His podcast is out right now. It's called Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, that makes sense.
Drink the Kool-Aid or drown or some shit like that. I forgot. Episode
like
34.
Yeah.
But him and Jones were talking, and basically Jones was saying he had 6 months on recruiting. That's it, 6 months. But he wound up divorcing his wife, and I think he wound up having kids, like having custody of the kids during that time frame. And with that being said, they snatched him from recruiting. And I'm like, I understand, like, you can't, like, the Marine Corps order, I think, is like, you can't be a single parent on recruiting. Cool, dandy. But I feel as though with certain situations, like, why can't you work with that individual if they were still putting numbers up during that time frame, and they only have 6 months left?
Yeah.
Shit, put them in MEPS, like, or work with them as best as possible. You know, like, just work with them. But like, to actually, like, just take them off during that time frame, it's like, but I don't know.
No, I agree with you.
So I mean, it is what it is at that point. But yeah. So you getting out due to IBS? You shit a lot.
Fuck off, man. No, I'm getting out because I want to get out at this point.
Yeah, so getting out, medical reason, and you just generally want to get out, no turning back.
I got lucky, honestly. Yeah.
Do you regret joining or?
No, hell no. Of course not. Look, I would never sit here and tell anybody that I regret joining the Marine Corps by any means.
Or the military.
Or the military whatsoever. Like I've learned so much in the past 4 years that it's ridiculous. I think I can sit here and take any situation that I've learned and compare it to anybody that is my age and sit here and say that I'm well advanced compared to them.
Yeah.
For sure. Like I appreciate everything I learned. I can sit here and adapt to other people that are from different cultures, different backgrounds, and everything of the sorts. And that's something I can't sit here and tell you that I would learn anywhere else.
Yeah.
So hell no, I don't sit here and regret joining by any means. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any what is the word I'm looking for? Not, I was about to say status, not goals, not positivity. What is that shit? That's what happens when you fucking drink during the podcast.
Yeah, a little bit.
Any advice?
Any advice?
Yeah, to I want to say younger generation Marines coming up. What would you grant them?
Yeah, more or less just be open-minded to everything that you do. I mean, that's more or less just advice to anybody that would be in a situation they're unfamiliar with. Like, I would rather be open-minded than closed-minded and have an automatic perceptive of how something's going to turn out.
Yeah.
I would rather sit here and be, okay, this is a possibility, but yet let's see how I can make it better.
Yeah.
So if you're open-minded, I think that you're more or less just accepting success at that point.
Ooh, I like that. If you're open-minded, you're accepting success. You're willing to accept success.
Sure, yeah. However you want to frame it, yeah.
I don't know. I gotta re-listen to it when I ain't drunk. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Thank you for listening. You want to shout out any social media?
Shout out to social media? Nah.
Oh no, you want to just stay low key.
Nah, I'm good. I'm low key as fuck.
I got you. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to all my listeners. We got a couple listeners in Russia, Japan, Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What up, Ecuador?
And I seen that, shout out to y'all, Unpredictable Thoughts podcast. I really don't be talking about shit, but yeah, it is what it is. Hey, yeah, just keep on listening. And for anybody that's feeling suicidal, suicide been like a hot topic nowadays or whatnot.
Always is, man.
Yeah, so it always is. But yeah, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. I don't yeah, it's not the way out, it's not the way out at the end of the day. But yeah,
Nah.
So reach out to somebody, talk to your chaplain, your peer, mentor, somebody. Shit, talk to your mentee. Like, yeah, like everybody's not strong at the end of the day, I mean, we are strong, but like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Nah, yeah, you're making sense.
All right, but yeah, yeah, thank you for listening to another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your man Troubles had Arnold in the building.
What up?
Peace.